What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to my channel and to this video. Today we're going to be taking a look at these non-stick grill mats. You see that black thin little sheet underneath the food there that goes right on top of the grill. Super bomb. Cannot recommend more highly. But what are they? How do they work? So I thought I'd make a quick video. We're going to be looking at hamburgers and pizza. Yes, you can grill your own pizza, and of course a couple of slices of salmon here. Look at that. It basically, the big sell here on these is that they catch all of the drippy drip from fish, from burgers, all that greasy stuff that might go down into your grill, causing a grease fire, or at the very least just annoying to have to clean up, right? Especially if you have an infrared grill like me with really small holes on the grill grates themselves. So this is a visual tour, a little look at the mat you just saw there. Very, very thin. The idea here is that the thinner is better. Now I'm transporting the salmon slices here on a because it's so thin, it's a bit floppy, right? So you either need two hands, and since I'm filming with one hand, I'm definitely going to put that under an actual metal baking sheet for transport. But basically, once you get them to where you need to be, you can kind of pick it up on each side there, and throw it on to the grill. The idea is thinner is better, so it doesn't affect the flavor, right? You still get that grilled, smoky flavor from all the benefits of having a grill in the first place, right? But again, cleanup and transport is super easy. You don't need the spatula to kind of lift it off the grill, which means, you know, your fish or whatever that you're making isn't going to stick to the grill. These are non-stick pads, so it just slides around every time, no matter what you're cooking, and at least the three things that I've cooked on it. And look at that. It distributes temperature pretty evenly. This is an infrared grill. So that by design is supposed to, you know, distribute the heat evenly, but these mats do so even more because there are no gaps underneath, right? It's all one solid surface. And this is kind of how you can move it out. Now, another cool thing about these, if you touch it immediately, it'll be hot, right? But look at that. About right there, it's good to the touch. It cools down instantaneously, kind of like tin foil, right? We've all taken out something like a baked potato out of the oven before. Well, it's piping hot, right? But if you touch the corner of the tin foil, it's actually quite cool to the touch almost instantaneously. So that's a nice little feature. And again, I'm going to put them back onto a kind of cookie sheet for transport, since they're a little precarious, maybe having these three slices on there. Again, there's not a lot of stability, but with two hands you can kind of scoop it up if you prefer. And just some shots here. This is obviously salmon, grilled salmon going on and coming off the grill, and just cuts like butter, super moist. And cleanup for these things, again, non-stick, so it's like everything just kind of slides and glides right off of the surface. Just a soapy brush. And, you know, rinse all that stuff off, get it all off there, and let it dry. Pretty self-explanatory and simple. Now, as far as burgers go, we'll give you some shots here of burgers, and then grilling your own pizza if you're interested. Huge benefit to that, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Here's a look at 4 burgers going on. Just a random family dinner night here at the house. And these mats made the list because, wow, the grill's part of the home, right? Trying to make that home a little better for you. And this definitely made the cut here. It's not often I'm super impressed with these aftermarket kind of ancillary accessories, right? But these mats are pretty cool. I was quite skeptical at the beginning before I tried them. Really? Do we really need that? And you, of course, can transfer these into the oven, right? Like, you know, we're using the grill here in this video, but you could totally use these in the oven if you're baking something. Anyway, non-stick here being the biggest benefit. But look at it kind of catch all that grease and stuff. All that stuff would be going down into the grill, the cheese included, just making for kind of a hot mess for cleanup. So this is definitely a cleaner way to grill, I think. And we're pretty content with that, right? I mean, look at it kind of caramelize it, or just kind of burn on there. All that stuff would go down into the grates and possibly even, you know, create a grill fire, or at least some flare up, right? And I'll mention that I'll put links down below for these mats or some similar ones. There's a lot of them out there, and you'll want to read the instructions on those because there are maximum temperatures that you can subject these to, depending on how long you have them in. For example, you know, if you exceed 30 minutes of use, then you might not be able to keep it in there for more than higher than 200 and something degree or 300 and something degrees. So read those instructions if you're interested. And there's an after shot of those burgers. Turned out excellent. Yeah. Now, as far as grilling your own pizza, you saw we just floured the mats just like that. And look at that. It slides right on. This is a great thing if you've not grilled your own pizza before. We like to put the crust in. We hand make the crust and roll it out, and pretty thin. We like the thin style pizza, and actually just bake or grill the crust for a good, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes. Ooh, until maybe there's a couple of burned places underneath there, but you want it to get nice and brown, and you can, you know, flip it over to see what that's like before you put the cheese on, because otherwise you're going to have an undercooked crust. This ensures the crust is nice and crispy. So anyway, look how convenient that is. Again, otherwise you'd be wrestling that crust off of the grates themselves with your grill utensil, your spatula, and you could, you know, risk breaking it or cracking it if you like that crispy crust. So, and again, immediately cool to the touch afterwards. Now we'll soup up the pizzas, put, you know, classic mozzarella and pepperoni on there, and pop them back on. Let that sit at 400 degrees or so for several minutes until everything's melted down. However long that took. Might be a wee bit burned on there, so you have to experiment and play around with it a little bit before you get, you know, commit to having guests over, for example. And clean up on the burgers. You can kind of blast that away. Again, everything slides right off with look at that. Pretty much the power of the water of the faucet itself will push everything off there. They're so non-stick. But certainly, you know, you can use your hand or a soapy brush to encourage that. Clean it up, let them dry, and that is it. We'll stop the video right there. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more do-it-yourself home projects and home product reviews. Thanks.